Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me here today on Armed Forces Day and allowing me to say a few words. I'm honoured to do so. It wasn't so very long ago that Rudyard Kipling, poet of empire, and I accept probably not everybody's taste these days, was musing on the British public's perception and treatment of their soldiers and was moved to write, "I went into a public house to get a pint of beer. The publican he up and says, 'We serve no redcoats here.' The girls behind the bar, they laughed and giggled fit to die. And out into the street again, and to myself says I, 'Oh, it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy go away. But it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play.'" We've come a long way since those days. 2 world wars and an almost constant drumbeat of conflict since 1945 brought the experience and value of Thomas Atkins closer to every family in the country. Although that knowledge is receding as an inevitable consequence of time passing, we receive constant reminders of the adaptability and flexibility of our armed forces as they are called in to help the civil authorities in areas as diverse as flood relief, the outbreak of foot and mouth disease, and more recently, of course, during the COVID-19 pandemic. I believe that all of us now have a good idea of what those who serve in the armed forces do for the communities from which they are recruited. And your presence today at this ceremony and its concurrent repetition across the UK shows the depth of that appreciation. Armed Forces Day gives us the opportunity to show our support for those who serve in the armed forces, and it is with a sense of deep gratitude that I acknowledge and applaud all that they do on our behalf. Service personnel from the Royal Navy, the Army and the Royal Air Force are constantly deployed protecting the national interest. And we can help them in their important task by expressing our support, not just for them, but also for their families. In the past 12 months, we've seen deployments to Afghanistan, training support for the armed forces and people of Ukraine, and as the possible consequences of Mr. Putin's ill-judged and so-called special military operation become apparent, the British Armed Forces are playing their part in strengthening the resolve and capability of our NATO partners. With uncertainty in the Far East as well, particularly on the Korean Peninsula and in the South China Sea, it seems that we should continue to be grateful for the deterrent offered by our well-trained and effective armed forces. We can never say too much in praise of their efforts, and it is with great pride that I note their immense contribution to our security and well-being. Kipling again. "You talk of better food for us, and schools and fires and all. We'll wait for extra rations if you treat us rational. Don't mess about with cookroom slops, but prove it to our face. The widow's uniform is not the soldier man's disgrace. For it's Tommy this and Tommy that, and chuck him out the brute. But it's saviour of his country when the guns begin to shoot. And it's Tommy this and Tommy that, and anything you please. And Tommy ain't a blooming fool, you bet that Tommy sees." Many of you will know that Rudyard Kipling lost his only son at the Battle of Loos in 1915. Kipling went on to become a major influence in the formation and the work of the Imperial, now the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. Having done so much to ensure that our dead and their sacrifice are remembered with pride, dignity and respect, we can only suppose how delighted he would have been to see your interest in those who serve today and how he would welcome the work of the Armed Forces Covenant Partnership in support of our service personnel. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.